welcome to Season 3 of Tales of the Lesser Medium, a podcast that pokes fun at video game narratives. Each season, me, Caleb J. Ross, and my co-host...
Listen, I am so excited for this episode and the coming episodes because finally... the reputation of scientists, I mean, it's been a blast for years. People are like, global warming's not a thing. Murder hornets are just cute bees. COVID's just a flu that's extra mean. But no, what's the reputation of scientists that has been kept behind doors for so long is that we have decent dongs. Now, I didn't say big or floppy. I said decent, being real about it. Okay. We're very strong. We're very agile. And extremely sexy, and all of that gets shared today. We're sexy, we're brawny, we're obviously smart, and we have decent dongs. All of that's going to be put out there today, and I'm so excited that people get to hear what Science Life is all about. Hashtag Science Life. I'm excited about it.
Yes, that was my co-host, Travis Terry, apparently a scientist, as we're learning here. Huh. This season, as all seasons, we'll be taking you through our favorite video game franchise narratives, taking time along the way for humorous skits to make you laugh and to continue to build our resume for one day becoming writers for Season 50 of The Simpsons.
Cannot wait.
That's going to be the season that it becomes good again. I can feel it.
They're due.
In Season 1, we explored Resident Evil, specifically games 1, 2, 3, and 0. Then we followed that up with Season 2, exploring the first 4 Tomb Raider games, 1, 2, 3, and 4. In this first episode of Season 3, we will dig into the events of the first Half-Life game, obviously. But after that, where do we go? See, Valve, the series developer, has never officially stated which games or even which events within those games is canon. Series writer Mark Laidlaw has stated that they do not get involved in issues of canonicity and that canon itself is non-canon and that there is no official stance and that he's apparently an arrogant, pompous jerk, because all of those statements are things that would immediately disqualify someone from being my friend ever. But such an officially unofficial stance makes it difficult for us to choose 4 official games for this Season 3 of Tales of the Lesser Medium. So we're leaning heavily on the halflife.fandom.com wiki, and that wiki suggests the following 4 games are canon certified. Half-Life, Half-Life 2, of course, Half-Life 2 Episode 1, and Half-Life 2 Episode 2. Now, there are other games, of course, including the most recent entry, Half-Life Alyx, but neither Travis nor myself have a virtual reality setup, and watching a playthrough of that game to get the story narrative would just remind us how cool that game looks to play, and we're not here to torture ourselves. We're here to have fun, damn it.
Wait, you've been having fun?
And torture is fun. So Half-Life is an important game. Its inclusion in every conversation about the history of video games is well warranted considering what it contributed to the then burgeoning world of first-person shooter games. Until Half-Life, narratives in first-person shooters were largely limited to cinematic set pieces, and that's assuming a game narrative existed at all. As Keith Stewart of The Guardian said in a 2018 20-year retrospective of the game, Half-Life taught a whole generation of big-budget game developers how to tell stories in an interactive space without continually wresting control from the player.
All right.
Think of the way NPCs in Half-Life speak to the player character about the events of the game as they follow the player character during live gun battles rather than forcing an exposition-filled cutscene like most first-person games do with their narrative. Or think of the small scripted events rather than dialogue box tutorials that teach the player how to interact with the environment. For example, early in Half-Life, the player happens upon a dying soldier reaching for a strange white box on the wall. Could this box be a health refill station, given the dying soldier's singular intent on reaching it? Yes. Yes, it could. This level of environmental storytelling was developed further with 2007's BioShock and has since become an expected element to most competent first-person adventure shooters.
All right. Well, it sounds like it's well constructed.
It is actually. It's one of the very earliest first-person games that I really dedicated myself to. I've always, throughout my entire life, had horrible computers that could never really compute anything. And so my roommate in college actually got Half-Life. He had it on his computer, which was a much better computer than anything I've ever experienced. And I was able to play through the game. And I can remember it being kind of a revelation, right? I've gone back and tried to play it again since then. And I still respect the hell out of it. It hasn't aged visually very well, at least not without mods. But yeah, it was a really big movement toward video games being respected as a narrative delivery device in a way that that really had never been done before that. So yeah, it was a big game for me. But I'm not much of a PC player, so unfortunately I haven't kept up with the series as I would like to. But that first game, man, I remember that very, very fondly. Good game. Good game.
Good game. Good story. We'll see. We'll see.
We'll see.
Who knows? Probably not.
Probably. Yeah, we might butcher it. It happens. And also, let me state that for this narrative depiction of Half-Life, I'm relying not only on the aforementioned halflife.fandom.com wiki, but also on several YouTube playthroughs, most notably one from PB Horror Gaming.
All right. I'm very excited to jump in on this. In fact, I was so excited for this episode, I went to IKEA, bought myself a big old black mesa for the whole family for dinner. You could sit around this big old black shiny mesa, mahogany. Mesa.
Wow.
I am super. Mesa is that's Spanish for table, Caleb. I don't know if you do.
It is Spanish for table. You are correct. Yes.
Yep. I know you. I know you.
But black is not Spanish, so I don't know why they're using half Spanish, half not Spanish in this description of that product that you bought. I think you got screwed, man.
I mean, have you seen IKEA descriptions? You can buy a shelf named Billy.
That's true. That's true. Oh, man. The game opens with the player character Gordon Freeman as the lone passenger aboard the Black Mesa monorail transport system, en route to reporting in for his job as a Black Mesa research associate in the Anomalous Materials Laboratory. Season 1, we established laboratory is pronounced laboratory.
It sure is.
And so it will continue to be done so now. Video games have taught us that any underground research facility is already fraught with general discomfort, but this location feels especially so. The monorail train passes what seems initially to be employees going about their basic, trivial workdays, but a closer look reveals panic. The employees seem to be running from something. But just as quickly as that unease registers, the train passes another scene, this one lacking panicked employees. In fact, quite the opposite. We see a lab-coated scientist standing calmly next to a man in a gray suit. Now, this man will come to be known in the Half-Life canon as the G-Man. At this point in the story, obviously, we have no idea who he is. Now, admittedly, the gray suit itself is a strange uniform amid the white coats, but neither he nor the scientist are panicking, so perhaps there was no panic at all to begin with. Perhaps we're looking too deeply into a scenario we know nothing about. Either way, this day doesn't feel like an entirely normal day at Black Mesa.
I can, I see it. And I definitely get that look. You get that look in of different kinds of people. You see as a scientist out chumming around, showing each other our 6-packs of abs and commenting on how smart and sexy we are. And then maybe the other people, that was the IT department. And they're sad. They got to go fix a printer or something like that. Oh, sad IT guy or something like that. But what I've noticed during COVID especially is the IT people that I used to work with, I just assumed they would just turn out the lights and just stockpile porn all day and watch, ripped DVDs or something. I don't know what they do. That might be a 90 sentence. But I noticed that now that I've been working from home, the home IT guy, I love on him a couple times a day. He's great.
I laugh, but you also use the phrase stockpiling porn.
Yeah.
Which confuses me a bit because of all the things that humans have created that risk becoming eradicated following any event that would necessitate stockpiling anything like COVID. Porn is the least worrisome. I'm confident that the surviving humans following a nuclear bomb, they will record themselves fucking the exhaust pipe from a demolished car before even thinking about looking for food or water. So I think our porn reserves are fine.
That's actually a really good point. Like when I see Fallout and there's like that, the nuclear blast in those games and everybody's kind of running and doing whatever, I'm like, no way. There would be people, they'd just be out on the sidewalk wanking it. The people would just be,
yeah, they would.
Get that last one out. That's what I've always said. Whenever I feel threatened by weather or, North Korea, just get it out.
Eventually, the train stops at Sector C Test Labs and Control Facilities, a very easy name of a building to say. Sector C Test Labs and Control Facilities, where Gordon must be escorted by a security officer to his post. The officer quips about Gordon being late, adding yet more to the discomfort, while also perhaps further nullifying our earlier sightings of panicked employees. I mean, after all, if the Black Mesa facility were really under attack from something, would a security officer really be concerned about an employee's tardiness?
Like, imagine you arrive to work one day late and the entire building is just on fire and your boss is just covered in soot, spots you coming in late and he's like waving his finger at you like he's still mad somehow.
Oh, well, look who it is, Mr. Richter. And a bit late again. Are you going to give me another excuse about a flat tire? I mean, that makes 7 flat tires in 3 months. And you drive a unicycle.
Hey, buddy, stop hating on the unicycle, first and foremost. It's an acceptable way to travel here. And also, I didn't say flat tire, I said fat tire, the New Belgium beer. I've been too drunk to come to work, dumbass. Jesus Christ. And you're on fire. I quit.
Oh, yes, I am on fire. I hope I don't fart and make the entire fire explode with my methane gas. Oh, nope. Okay, it passed. Nope, it's back again.
Oh, man.
The security officer activates a panel on the wall, allowing a large steel door to open with appropriate video gamey pomp, including loud metal-on-metal grating and echoing clanks as the door panels grind in their guide and slam to a stop. Now, this is a door that the game is going out of its way to tell you it will not be easy to unlock later should Gordon, for some reason, arrive back to this input panel without a security guard to accompany him. But oh well, don't think about that right now. Let's move on with the rest of the story.
Okay, fine.
Once inside, a different security officer sitting at a receptionist desk greets Mr. Freeman by alerting him to a bunch of messages left for our tardy research associate. But a system crash 20 minutes ago is preventing their retrieval. Just one of those days, I guess, the officer says, dismissing the crash as nothing particularly noteworthy. The officer then mentions troubles at the test chamber that morning and instructs Gordon to head down there after suiting up in a hazard suit. A white-haired scientist looks on during this exchange, shaking his head, more panicked than any character we've been introduced to yet. It seems this scientist may know something that the security officers and the other scientists do not.
Yeah, and as a scientist, and of course speaking as a very sexy, decently donged scientist, I gotta say, I'm no fan of pimento cheese. There's just no science to it. It shouldn't exist. I get the pimento part. Sure, like people like, pimento cheese got pimento in it. Like, no shit, I see the pimento. It's the cheese part that I'm worried about. What is it? It's just magical thinking gone awry.
Well, you know what? As much as I hate scientists, every single one of them I've ever talked to, and I've only talked to one.
Jesus Christ.
I also need to speak maybe as a dumb security guard as well, because I also have some concerns with some things. I got to ask, if you can get funding for your pimento cheese research, right? Maybe you can pork barrel some time to study why hedge cheese is called head cheese. It's not cheese. It's literally just pig head jello.
That's, and even though you said mean things about me, I do agree with you there. And I will also use that funding to figure out why pork barrel isn't just a barrel full of pork. That makes me sad as well. There's 2 things there that make me sad.
Sadly, that probably has some etymological root in our old political system in which people actually did try to sneak barrels full of pork across state lines or something. I'm sure of it. That's got to be, right? Why else would you call it pork barrel?
That was nearly a pussy broom cocaine moment if you had done your research. It could have been.
Damn it.
It could have been. Swing and a miss. Swing and a miss.
Those barrels were also full of cocaine and brooms and vaginas.
I don't believe it. It's too late.
Just a whole vagina just sloshing around. Fish in a barrel, as they say. Gordon rushes toward the locker room to suit up. Now, some players, like me, whose curiosity trumps their sense of professional obligation, may take a slight diversion in this section into the break room. There's a break room that you can explore in this game. Eventually, Gordon makes his way through the locker room and into a side room where an HEV suit awaits. The HEV suit, or Hazardous Environment Suit, also simply called a hazard suit, or could simpler be called a HEV suit. It's fewer syllables, but scientists are dumb, is a special suit designed to protect the wearer from radiation, energy discharges, blunt force trauma, and interdimensional travel. The last thing in that list kind of seems like that was just tacked on to sell it, because they probably never anticipated using that. As Gordon enters the suit, an automated voice announces that this particular model is the Mark IV, assumedly the most sophisticated and durable model available considering the threats that the game and its knowing scientists are pushing Gordon toward.
Yeah, and the scientist is like,
Mr. Freeman, thank you for putting on that hazard suit. Now, we'll need you to enter the White House.
Oh, fuck this, I quit.
It's for your protection. It's for your protection.
At the end of a long hallway, another security officer opens a door to let Gordon into a room that the officer refers to as the barrel.
it's got pork in it?
Yeah. Damn it. The use of a casual nickname implies that this barrel is surely a controlled place of routine activity, and that Gordon's appointment here today is perhaps less a reverence for his unique abilities and more the logical result of today simply being Gordon's turn to do barrel work. Gordon could be Frank, could be Johnny, could be Margaret. The game is stressing that Gordon Freeman is your everyday 27-year-old MIT graduate with a PhD in theoretical physics.
And probably a decent dong because he's a scientist.
He's a theoretical scientist, meaning a theoretically giant dong. And I'll buy that. I'll accept it.
Oh, thanks.
A long elevator ride down further underground empties Gordon into yet another hallway defined by its exposed steel girder and rivet construction. Gordon winds his way past calm scientist after calm scientist, enduring recycled audio greetings, once again causing the player to question our original skepticism. Perhaps everything really is just fine. Eventually, finally, a group of 3 scientists do more than simply offer polite greetings as Gordon passes. Given that this game only offers 4 character models for scientists, there's white guy with afro-like Albert Einstein hair, there's white guy with glasses,
Right.
There's balding white guy with brown hair.
That's me.
And black guy. So here's a rare occurrence where Gordon gets to interact with all 3 different models simultaneously. This is like a near entire selection of scientist representation in one conversation. So exciting. All right, So first, the white guy with glasses goes,
We just sent you the sample down to the test chamber.
perfect. And then the white guy with poofy hair goes,
We boosted the anti-mass spectrometer to 105%. It's a bit of a gamble, but we needed the extra resolution.
and then the black guy goes,
The administrator is very concerned that we get a conclusive analysis of today's sample. I gather they went to some lengths to get it.
and then the white guy with glasses, oh, he's such a card. He comes back and says,
They're waiting for you, Gordon, in the test chamber.
oh, science humor.
Yeah.
I don't think that was a joke, was it? Damn it. Okay. I can't read scientists. They're hard. One of the 3 scientists then opens an electronically sealed door for Gordon's continued passage into a room where the player first gets a glimpse of something truly science-y.
Gordon's
3 glass
decent
containment.
dong. Sorry, I didn't mean to. I was just trying to have a little fun around here. Is all. Just trying to make it a funny episode. That's all I'm doing.
No. Okay. A glimpse of something truly science-y. 3
Gordon's
glass
decent
containment vessels, alive with arcs of electricity, line the wall. Gordon will not only be seeing similar electricity arcs again shortly, but will also see these exact glass vessels again in the imminent future during a retreat scene a bit later in the game. So you might want to stay listening to this podcast for that. It's going to be quite the adventure.
Oh boy.
For now, Gordon's time with these containers is interrupted when a nearby panel of button textures and flashing lights malfunctions, causing a small explosion. 2 involved scientists react with measured calm, but not without expressing frustration that the equipment
Wasn't meant to do this in the first place?
What is this? What wasn't it meant to do? Why are these scientists pushing their equipment beyond reason? For what end are they being so careless?
You know, I really need Gordon to ask some questions right about here. You know, he's not one for words. Very silent type, very cold, very calculated, decent donged man, sure. But if there's ever a time to break the silence, I think now is it.
You're right. And I think Gordon's silence is probably for a reason, because he kind of sounds like this.
Not to pry, but doesn't that seem like more smoke than a computer should emit?
You know, Gordon, Your breath is horrible. First and foremost, you stand very close when you talk to people. I don't know what's that all. Sure, it's more smoke than a computer should emit. Jesus,
my computer at home emits very much less than even half of that smoke.
Yeah, well, good. That's great. Can you get out of here? You're disrupting everything. No one has time for your stupid. You breathe so loud.
What? I can't hear you over my breathing.
Are your hearing aids plugged in? You are the... Oh, my God. Who? Oh.
People are supposed to breathe. What kind of scientist are you? Why are you making fun of me for living?
Listen, it's actually quite impeccable that you...
What's that smell?
It's your breath. It's your own breath.
I thought it was a fart.
No. God.
I love the idea that none of the scientists like Gordon.
Yeah.
Even though he's saving everyone. That's fun. Unable to help with this particular problem, Gordon exits the room via another elevator. This one heading to an even deeper underground level of Black Mesa.
They're under the table.
At the end of another long hallway lined with a single directional marker noting test chamber, Gordon meets up with two scientists. These two are visually identical to many he's passed by and interacted with prior, but assumedly, these are first-time encounters. And so the white guy with poofy hair goes,
I'm afraid we'll be deviating a bit from standard analysis operating procedures today, Gordon.
And then the balding brown-haired guy says,
yes, but with good reason. This is a rare opportunity for us. This is the purest sample we've seen yet.
Oh, snap! Scientist slam. Okay. Then the white guy with poofy hair comes back and he's like,
and potentially the most unstable.
Man, scientists' conversations get me hot and then also bothered. I am very bothered.
Oh, man, I'm one of those two.
I'm mostly bothered, too, to be honest.
Yeah, probably bothered mostly. This exchange ends with afro-haired Einstein trying to calm the room by stating the possibility of a resonance cascade scenario is rare. In video game logic, this means we are definitely going to be experiencing this resonance cascade scenario, probably very soon. The balding brown-haired guy then suggests they let Gordon inside the room, cueing the closest thing this game has to a cool 3D Fallout-style vault door opening, while definitely not being nearly as cool as a 3D Fallout-style vault door opening, which is to say that Half-Life's grand door opening is essentially just like a standard home garage door opening set to a budget Jerry Bruckheimer movie score, and it's over super quick, so I guess that's good.
I guess it is good.
Yeah. Gordon enters a large, brown, cylindrical room that's most certainly this barrel we've heard so much about. A scientist over the loudspeaker instructs Gordon to ascend a nearby ladder and do a bunch of sciencey button pressing on a nearby keyboard in order to initiate a bunch of sciencey sounding actions. And Travis, if you could, since you are the resident science here, can you give me some background sciencey chatter, please?
We've tested the Latin square, and the Bayesian curve seems to be piling up greatly against our standard deviation, which is 4 standard deviations, and then we have to divide that. Of course, we have the standard error, and that's going to give us a sine wave, I do believe, or maybe not. Who gives a shit about any of this?
I love it. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Also, the Earth is getting hot. The Earth is getting hot.
Can you say that in a sciencey way? Put you on the spot here.
Yeah. The third rock from the sun's climate is rising sharply. We should all be scared.
Okay, I'll buy it. Within moments after pressing the buttons, a nozzle at the top of the room begins to spin. As it builds speed, electricity arcs spread from conductors along the outer perimeter, focusing into a central nozzle that directs a steady beam downward onto a sort of platform. A scientist calmly narrates the actions over the loudspeaker. Stage 1 becomes Stage 2, becomes Stage 3. The scientist reads off a series of stats, followed by variations of normal and at acceptable levels. By the almost bored tone of the scientist's voice, everything is going as expected. Perhaps the resonance cascade scenario foreshadowed earlier was just a clever misdirection.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people see scientists as boring because we're talking over everyone else. We're saying sciencey stuff that's exciting to us, and other people are just like, "What's going on? They're so boring. Ooh, what are they saying?" But we're enjoying our decent dongs and our great abs and six packs and lovely lives. But I will say that anytime a scientist shows any excitement at all that the common man can perceive as excitement, suddenly they're a mad scientist villain. It's like scientists are supposed to be boring, and then if they get excited, it's like, hey, keep it under control, guy. It's, hey, keep it under control, which is also a science joke. Get it? Because of controls? Oh, man, see, we have fun.
Can you do a variant of that joke that's funny?
Fuck you, Caleb.
Soon, the scientists deliver into the barrel what they only refer to as a specimen.
I bet these scientists are always gathered around a barrel shooting their specimens into it.
The yellow gold gem-like crystal specimen sits grasped by the arms of a robot, ready to be pushed on its treads by a way too trusting Gordon Freeman onto the platform currently being pelted with a laser beam. The player must manually push the specimen into the beam, and though the player can take as long as we want to do so, it's inevitable that we will eventually. Even the casual gamer knows that once the laser beam meets the specimen, all hell will break loose. But Gordon and the scientists seem to think doing so is a swell idea. Of course, immediately upon the specimen and the laser meeting, the barrel begins shaking and the scientists panic and probably pee their pants and go flaccid, like a return to their normal everyday way of life, scientist stuff, yada, yada, yada.
You wish.
Now, between what seems like moments of blacking out, Gordon is temporarily transported to an alternate dimension, a place we later learn is a planet called Zen. Menacing alien creatures surround Gordon. The world itself is filled with unfamiliar flora. But just as Gordon starts to acclimate to the new world, he's transported back to Black Mesa proper, only now scientists lay dead around him, and the entire building, even outside of the barrel, is in shambles. This must be the much-feared and apparently not so rare Resonance Cascade scenario. The alien world seems to have infected the Earth world. Gordon must now retrace his steps to escape to the surface to find help.
And I see what he did here, because this is exactly what I would tell the cops if I came to from a blackout around a pile of dead Calebs, dead scientist-hating Calebs. I would be like, oh, but the aliens, oh, there's an alternate dimension, you guys aren't listening to me, oh, I would do that. I would pull that move, so I get it.
That's fair. Don't worry, there's going to be more science. Now I'm going to go out of my way to murder Travis's.
No,
in this
not
episode.
Travis, just Caleb, just dead Calebs. It wasn't you, just any old Caleb. There's more. You're not the only Caleb, you fucking asshole.
Okay, apology accepted.
Selfish guy.
During the escape, Gordon passes through the room with the 3 glass containment vessels that we mentioned earlier. See? I told you we'd be revisiting those. I don't lie.
You did.
This time, rather than being empty, 2 are shattered and empty, while the 3rd remains sealed but contains within it an aggressive alien creature known as the headcrab.
My ex-girlfriend.
At this time, Gordon isn't familiar with the headcrab, but soon enough we learn that this small creature has appeared as a result of the Resonance Cascade scenario, and that it acts as a parasite of sorts. It latches onto humans, turning their hosts into Black Mesa's version of the zombie.
Ooh.
As Gordon approaches the center empty glass vessel, a familiar green spark of electricity, much like the one from the barrel, spits another headcrab into existence inside the vessel. The message here is clear. Headcrabs can appear anywhere at any time, so Gordon must be forever on his toes. Thankfully, this particular headcrab is restrained by the glass container.
Yeah. And it's tough because back when I used to date old headcrab, we called her, if I had gone to the place where they were making her, if I just went there and there were just several of her dropping out of a glass tube, I'd lose my fucking mind. It would be
the Fleshlight Factory.
Oh. You know what? You know who gave you the fleshlight that you enjoy so intimately every night, sometimes twice? Scientist.
My wife.
Scientist.
Yeah. Oh, I guess you're right. Thank you, scientists, for giving me a receptacle that I can never clean out.
You can clean it. You don't clean it?
Would you want to? I mean, do you know what's inside of that thing? Ugh, no way. But not much further through Black Mesa's twisting corridors, a second headcrab materializes. This one, thankfully, is easy to outmaneuver as Gordon heads for an open door. Avoiding enemies surely won't continue to be so easy.
I don't know, man. I'm in my mid-30s, and I've managed to dodge just about every kind of crab except for my ex-girlfriend, who I nicknamed Headcrab, pretty easily so far.
I like the phrase just about, so therefore please name several kinds of crabs that you have not dodged, and go.
Imitation. I'm just a sucker for imitation crab meat. I'll just soak it right up. Yeah.
That's fair. That's 2 technically because you already talked about your ex-girlfriend.
Yeah.
One
see?
more.
Oh, you said several. You didn't say exactly 3.
Well, several's more than 2, right?
I don't know.
Come on, scientist. If you saw a scientific paper that had a bunch of gibberish and gobbledygook, and one of those words was several, you would think there's at least 3 coming.
I would throw it in the
right?
trash. It would have to give me a number. I need an integer.
Here's my scientific report. As you can see, it's several papers, which is with several sheets of paper thick, which is definitely more than the X number that you told me to create. X equals, what would that be?
1.
Damn it. Okay. All right. It's from the mouth of a scientist. Your mouth to our ears. I'm enlightened. Thank you.
I'm just trying to get out of this conversation.
With most of the security guard and scientist staff now dead or dying, Gordon is left to take matters into his own hands to get through doors. Using a found crowbar, he breaks glass between rooms and in elevator doors to progress toward the surface. In one such instance, immediately upon breaking elevator door glass, the elevator itself falls down the shaft carrying screaming scientists to their death. In a series normally full of flawless environmental storytelling, the crashed elevator shows us a rare misstep. If the player looks down upon the crashed elevator, blood can be seen outside the elevator, splattered on the top side of the roof. How the scientist's blood managed to permeate the steel elevator ceiling is surely a mystery only the game developers could solve for us.
See, I think what you're failing to see here is that elevators bleed too. That poor thing fell several stories to the ground. I mean, if you think it's not going to bleed a little bit, you're stupid.
I've never been to an elevator funeral, but I'd like to. I'm up there at the dais, looking out across all of the sad friends and family of the elevator. Mm-hmm. We are gathered here to mourn the death of elevator 5B. Sure, like all of us, 5B had her ups and downs, but that never stopped her from loving everyone. In fact, she let everyone inside of her, even children. At this point, I'd like to invite elevator 5B's friend and enemy, Staresington, up to the dais to say a few words about elevator 5B. And please, phrase your mourning in the form of many elevator puns.
Yeesh, that really puts me on the spot as Staresington, but we did share a part of the lobby for many, many years, and I will say that the elevator really loved to dance. She would go floor to floor all night long in a flurry of ups and downs, and sometimes, though, she would open and close for no reason, causing things to ding dong, and there would be nobody there, and it would really freak me out, and I didn't much care for it. But then, elevator would sometimes drink too much, and she'd get to a point where she'd go down on just about anyone, of course, but then there were other times where she would drink too much, and then she would close on people before they got inside, and that was... I saw the upset faces on those people, and then they would walk up my back. And,
Rude!
Yeah, I thought so as well, but elevator, you know, for all her faults, she did get offended quite easily, and me and the other staircases would push her buttons a little bit, causing her to, of course, light up. And one time we said, elevator, you're getting a little bit fat, because one time she got stuck, and the firefighters had to come and rescue people, and 3 families died inside of her. That was such a day, but I will miss her. And she will be replaced, obviously, because, you know, the fire marshal will demand there to be an elevator and whatnot. But, yeah, this is sad, I suppose.
This funeral is lit! Woo! 2 drink minimum at this funeral. Bring a friend.
Also, I just want to say, fuck escalators. I'm out. Just drops the mic.
Escalators be all like, boo, man.
This is our worst.
And then
skit.
stairs be all like, cluck, 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 cluck. You know how it is, right? Oh. Gordon ascends ladders in the elevator shaft until happening upon a surviving security officer in the middle of shooting down a head-crabbed science zombie. At this point, Gordon still hasn't had a chance to test his mettle against an enemy. So together, Gordon and the security guard continue through the now darkened corridors, shooting and beating their way through a few scientist zombies until fighting their way to the initial room where the Black Mesa transport train dropped off Gordon at the start of his workday. Not surprisingly, the main entrance door is sealed shut with no way of opening it. Luckily, the reliable video game trope that is the air duct sits open at the floor, practically inviting Gordon to enter, and of course he does.
Oh man, I love a reliable video game trope. Just the other day I locked myself out of my house on accident, and I used the reliable video game trope of calling my wife and crying because it was chilly and I forgot my hoodie, and she came home and let me in. Just a really reliable video game. Wait, what is a trope?
The enemies are small, incredibly nimble, and they shriek just before attacking. So at this point in the game, nearly every headcrab attack is a jump scare. It's still fairly easy for Gordon to avoid the enemies, though, as his main motivation is escape at this point, not battle. Soon, Gordon acquires his first gun, stolen from the body of a fallen security guard.
All right.
Around the first corner post-gun, we're met with a new enemy type, a hound eye. This enemy is quick and can leap like the headcrab, but additionally, this enemy has the ability to emit a deadly short-range radial blast. Gordon must shoot without hesitation if he hopes to live through future encounters with these three-legged beasts.
Oh boy.
Shortly, Gordon encounters another enemy type, the bipedal vortigaunts.
Bipedal vortigaunts sounds like a derogatory term for people rife with syphilis.
Because rife with syphilis isn't a derogatory term enough. You got one built in right there. I mean, come on.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
These creatures, it does sound better, bipedal vortigaunts, right? Like that sounds, you could yell that at the playground where the kindergartners have syphilis for some reason.
Yeah,
you could yell that and have a lot more fun than just saying, rife with syphilis, rife with syphilis.
I mean, that sounds more
the
like
kid's name is Rife.
I mean, rife with syphilis. That sounds like a nursery rhyme or something. Rife with syphilis, rife with syphilis. I don't know. I could go both ways on this.
And we all go down.
That's how you got it.
These creatures are actually slaves. Oh wow, that took a hard turn after our laughter. These vortigaunts are actually slaves to the big bad organization known as the Combine, which is responsible for this alien invasion.
Ooh.
Now, sure, the Combine is maybe technically responsible for the alien invasion, but I'd kind of say Gordon and those idiot fucking scientists are more responsible, but, whatever.
Yeah, well, you're probably right.
Well, see, I finally respect a scientist. He saw the data and he thought, you know what? The data doesn't lie. The scientists probably are responsible for that. So good on you, scientist Travis.
Yeah, wait till you see this decent dong data we got.
I know you're not lying because you just say decent and you're not over exaggerating.
See?
So there you go.
You're coming to my side now. All right.
Neither the player nor Gordon are aware of this association at the time of this encounter, so rather than weigh the politics of slavery and conquest, we must shoot the gross thing before the gross thing shoots us. By this time, Gordon has happened upon a few living scientists. They offer no help at all. They offer only quips about how crazy everything has gotten, which I'm pretty sure Gordon could see for himself. One scientist has even hidden himself in a dumpster. If Gordon could talk, he would certainly question why a dumpster has been placed at the end of this corridor without any means to empty it. A garbage truck isn't fitting into these hallways. But that confusion aside, a dumpster seems, I guess, like a fine place to hide. I mean, so good for you, scared, poofy-haired scientist.
I told the story already about how we got drunk one night and this guy and you slept in a Wendy's dumpster because we got separated. And for a long time, I was like, God, that's so dumb. Like, you're just going to smell like trash. You could have been killed. The truck could have came and smushed you up. But now after seeing that, not only did a scientist do this, but one of the poofy-haired ones, which have a higher status of intellect, I've now come around to say that that's a pretty smart move.
Will you be sleeping in a Wendy's dumpster anytime soon, Travis, in your own personal life?
If the opportunity presents itself, it will be an option. And from this point
I think
forward,
that's kind of one of those opportunities you present for yourself. I don't think that's something that just happens, right? You gotta search out those opportunities. I think you can do it. I believe in you.
Okay.
To progress, Gordon must drop through a vent into a large pipe that seems to be part of some sort of drainage system.
Of course. Even a game that takes place entirely underground has to have a sewer level.
True. Gordon turns a valve located at the end Oh, Valve. I said the name of the thing that made it. Gordon turns a valve located at the end of one of the labyrinthian paths to raise the water level, allowing our hero to swim upward and out of a different vent and back on to dry land.
All right.
In the next room, we get to experience one of Half-Life's most iconic sequences. Gordon pulls a lever which causes a freight elevator to descend at a 45-degree slope along what appears to be a kind of slide. The lever also, for some reason, opens a panel which allows dozens of headcrabs to escape. They chase Gordon and inadvertently use the slide-like shape of the elevator track to, well, slide right past Gordon. That's
boy.
right. If Gordon stands still on this elevator, the player is able to watch as momentum flings these many headcrabs over the edge in what seems to be a failure of the game's physics engine.
How is there so much momentum that these crabs fly so fast, so hard past Gordon?
Oh, crap. That reminds me. I hate doing this, listener, but I've got to take a little quick moment here to read this word from our sponsor. Are you tired of dropping decapod crustaceans down an incline only for the animal to fall limply from the bottom edge? Of course you are. When you organize a night of crab sliding, you want speed. You want distance. You want that crab to think it's been blessed with a gift of flight for those moments before it smashes against a tree or bashes against a wall or crashes into your Aunt Maybelle's backside as she bends over to tie her shoe or retrieve a dropped coin. You need Skid Slippery's Beast Grease. Just slather a palm load onto your belly. Sorry. Just slather a palm load onto the belly of your crab, release that 10-legged shit, and just try to pry that thing out of Annie Mae's beehole. All right, sorry, listener. I know that was awkward. We just have to do that. You got to pay the bills, you know.
Are they available on Prime Day?
They should be, yeah. I think so.
Good.
So all of this slipping and sliding right past Gordon is hilarious, that is, until you realize all of those headcrab failures are waiting for Gordon at the bottom of the elevator shaft. This physics failure, as it turns out, is yet another clever misdirection on the part of Valve.
Wow. And clever misdirection is usually not a thing that physics will allow.
That's right. So Gordon continues on, maneuvering around broken pipes and air vents, dodging headcrab spawns and breaking boxes for ammo until arriving at a large central access area of the drainage system. From Gordon's vantage point, he can see two more new enemy types. The aggressive type is called a bull squid and is characterized by its mouth full of tentacle-like appendages that can be used to grasp enemies. The passive type is called the barnacle. Characteristic to its namesake, the barnacle clings to the ceiling and is immovable aside from its long, rope-like tongue that hangs to the ground, ready to capture and lift prey up into its mouth.
You know, bull squid honestly sounds like the name the first farmer gave to the liquid he laboriously extracted from a bull. Like, weird how the ones without horns have lots of white, succulent juice in them. But the ones with the horns, I tug and I tug and I tug, and all I get was warm ladles of bull squid.
Oh, you're not confused, Rupert. You and I both know what's going on. I see the way you look at our bull, all wistful and passionate-like, wanting to...
Woman, I knew you'd be jealous, and the bull lets me be the little spoon.
Well, I hope you and the bull are very happy, because me and all the little calves, we're leaving.
Well, the bull's very happy.
That tracks, yeah.
Won't stop following me around.
This scene is especially interesting as the bull squid is caught attacking and killing headcrabs. This hints that perhaps the Zen invasion of Earth may not be one championed by a single army or a shared cause. This may be more of a mass exodus situation. Gordon kills the bull squid and carefully maneuvers around the barnacle tongues and into an access tunnel that leads to the first of several irrationally designed platformer areas. Here, cranes carry large wooden crates from a hole at one end of a bottomless chasm to the opposite end, or at least that's what they seem to have been doing before the invasion. Currently, the wooden crates hang from the cranes, but are otherwise unmoving.
Huh. Kind of sounds like these wooden crates are just emotionally resilient. Unmoving. You get that? You get it?
You know, Travis, I wish you wouldn't box yourself into just puns on this show. Come on. Create some real humor.
Oh, my God.
No, seriously. It turns out those unmoving boxes hanging from the ceiling committed suicide.
Oh, man. So those holes at the box joints were self-inflicted?
Nailed it.
Oh, that was good. You were very
man.
Good at this.
We have fun. So back to the game. First-person platforming still isn't great today in 2020, so imagine how frustrating this scene was in 1998. Expect to die multiple times here trying to jump from crate to escape this room.
I can't even first-person platform with my own fucking legs. I tried to skip a few steps coming up on my porch the other day, really feeling it, and just ate shit right on my concrete steps, and I was crying. I had to call my wife to come help me, and plus it was chilly out, and I'd forgotten my hoodie. It was rough.
There's nothing worse than just being really confident about your physical abilities, especially when what is required of you is so minimal. I'm going to jump. I'm going to move up 2 steps. You just wait and see, world. Oh,
Yep.
God, I missed.
And that's not the way you want to describe, like, when people ask, like, why are you missing all your front teeth? You're like, oh, I was in a bat fight. Like, you don't want to tell them that I tried to get real fancy and skip the steps, but forgot I was wearing my tight skinny jeans and just ate shit.
So I was leisurely walking up the steps, and I thought it was going great. Several turns and spins through nonsensically labyrinthian corridors later, Gordon arrives at an elevator that takes him to an office complex floor that promises to be a welcome respite from the sewers. But when the elevator doors open, Gordon's first sight is that of a scientist being pulled up into the ceiling and presumably eaten by an invading alien.
Oh, wow. And this floor does contain the office break room, so enjoying a meal here makes sense.
Yeah. The hallway is lit only by sporadic arcs of electricity from broken light fixtures. When these sparks make contact with a wandering headcrab, the headcrab dies, further emphasizing that this new broken world isn't just after Gordon. It kills indiscriminately.
It's almost like if you could see COVID.
Ugh, God, that sounds awful. Through a locked door behind him, Gordon sees a scientist seemingly attempt to escape by climbing up a rope through the ceiling. But, if you're listening closely, you will realize the rope, of course, isn't a rope at all. It's a barnacle tongue.
Guys, I found the way out. Come, follow me up this sticky, warm, wet rope.
Black Mesa, it seems, is full of idiot scientists, which I suppose explains pretty much everything that has transpired so far. Without them, though, we wouldn't have a game. So thank you, idiot scientists, and I mean that.
You're welcome.
To all the idiot scientists out there. Gordon flips a breaker on the wall, cutting power to the floor. This allows him to pass through the hallway previously made impassable by the electricity from the broken light fixtures. As Gordon passes by a rare alive scientist, the scientist quips, "With my brains and your brawn, we'll make an excellent team."
Yes. Gordon Freeman, the MIT graduate, the lowly MIT graduate with a PhD in theoretical physics. He is the brawn, for sure.
And if we refer back to that earlier statement I made about the scientist confusing an alien tongue for a rope, I'm not sure that the scientist's brain is the kind of brain I really want on my team.
I think Gordon could make tongue or rope decisions on his own. Although, I'll say growing up, we used to close our eyes and play a little game of tongue or rope, and I'll be honest, most of the time it was a penis. Bible camp could get weird.
But all that doesn't matter, because the scientist immediately refuses to go any further. This team he spoke of was very, very temporary, as it turns out. So Gordon pushes forward through dark rooms and darker air ducts until arriving at an ammunition supply cage manned by a single security guard with a pistol. If Gordon is quick enough, Gordon can save the security guard from an approaching zombie. If the player isn't quick enough, hey, free pistol.
I love Free Pistol Day. Me and the boys would head on down to the local outdoorsman shop every August 5th, Free Pistol Day. And, then after we got our free pistols, we'd go out for ice cream, as we do, get a cone, we'd say, and then we'd swing back around the park, do some rootin' and tootin', shoot them off with our considerable semi-automatic weapons. And God, I miss living in the country.
I hate to break this to you, or maybe I'd love to break this to you, depending on your persuasion, but you don't have to live out in the country to enjoy those benefits. You pretty much described all of America. But truthfully, you don't need a pistol at all in the game right now because this room also contains a two-handed gun.
Oh.
Now, what kind of gun, more specifically, I don't know. I'm not a gun guy. But video games have taught me that when guns require two hands, those guns are way better than guns that require one hand. And this gun is definitely a two-hander and therefore way better.
Hey, I know the name of that two-hander. It's called a scientist dong.
After pilfering the entire armory, Gordon and his still-alive security guard climb into an air duct to eventually be spit out into a room armed with an automatic turret gun. Now, until now, the weapons we've seen seem simple enough. An immovable turret, however, suggests to Gordon that Black Mesa may have perhaps expected an evasion of this degree eventually.
Okay.
After disabling the turret, Gordon and his still-alive security officer friend battle through a horde of Vortigaunts, the slave aliens, followed soon after by a stairwell with both Vortigaunts and more automatic turrets. Eventually, after several more illogically placed air duct entrances, Gordon drops into an office filled with guns, ammo, and grenades. The employee who worked here was either head of death R&D, or perhaps, judging by how perfectly placed the grenades are on his desk, they're all sat upright, equidistant from each other in a perfectly straight line.
Yeah.
Now, perhaps this person was just an enthusiastic weapons collector and displayer.
Huh. That's a weird thing, though, because, a collector, fine. Weapons collector, plenty of those. No big deal. Enthusiastic weapons collector is a scary thing, though. That's a scary thing.
You're forcing me to also question enthusiastic anything collector. Like, if someone says, I collect spoons, but you're like, okay.
Yeah.
But if they say, I collect spoons enthusiastically.
Scary, right?
You got to be a little concerned, right?
Yeah.
Even if they're not deadly.
Like, you're a hoarder who just happens to have a lot of spoons.
At this point, Gordon has met up with and traveled alongside several companions, each of which offers a series of one-liners. These range from the aforementioned brains and brawn exchange to more celebratory lines like, "Did you see that shot?" after a successful kill. However, from this point forward, Gordon will start to hear a few lines regarding a rescue at the hands of military soldiers on the surface. So Gordon has found his new mission. He must not only escape topside, but must make contact with the soldiers in order to strategize a rescue of the Black Mesa employees underground.
Okay.
Soon, Gordon runs out of traditional office real estate and must venture into a refrigerated storage area. The shelves are largely bare, which is concerning given that this area supposedly is meant to house the entire facility's food reserves. So either Black Mesa recently fired their food supply manager, or the scientists very quickly resorted to hoarding food reserves for themselves when news of the alien invasion spread.
Oh, but I just absolutely love an opportunity to hoard food. And where I live, I'm pretty isolated from a lot of natural disasters, but, and it's like a 13-hour drive to Florida. But anytime there's a hurricane in the forecast for Key West, I'm like, honey, we better stock up on the newest flavor of Doritos and ride this one out. It's going to be tough. We probably get a little bit of rain in about 2 weeks, so.
It's kind of similar here in Kansas where I live. But we don't really have the luxury of any kind of warning. Like, our main natural disaster is the tornado, which strikes really with only minutes notice. So I have to constantly assume I'm going to die at any moment. So I go through about 6 bags of spicy sweet chili flavors Doritos every day.
I want to move to Kansas. It sounds great.
Shortly after the refrigerator section, Gordon passes by a locked door similar to so many locked doors he's encountered before. Only this time, through the window, a man in a gray suit approaches the window, looks directly at the camera, calmly adjusts his tie, and then just walks away. Oh. This, of course, is the G-Man we saw on the tram during the game's intro, where everyone else is fighting aliens, climbing monster tongues, hoarding food reserves, and all around panicking. This man in the gray suit is calm and collected. Concerningly so.
Yeah, see how it goes both ways. You're either an enthusiastic collector, very scary, or calm and collected, very scary.
What if you're enthusiastically calm and collected? I don't even know how that works.
Me either.
Gordon moves on. He manually climbs a series of ladders lining an elevator shaft. A scientist hangs from a broken ladder above. Gordon may be tempted to rescue the scientist, but inevitably the man will lose his grip and plummet to his death.
Poor fucker. He's just up there hanging. He's like, hey man, little help. I'm stuck.
I don't know, buddy. I don't know if it was that Gordon's voice. I can't remember.
I think.
I don't know, buddy. You're clearly going to fall and die before I come close to saving you.
God, wait, you don't know that?
I can see butter on your hands from here. I know butter when I see it.
Oh, that. Yeah. Oh, that's definitely butter. I definitely wasn't jerking off and fell off the ledge. Nope. This is butter. I was just making a bit. I just got a Paula Deen cookbook, and will you just come save me?
Paula Deen. Man, she is attractive. I know this probably isn't the right time to talk about all of our little kinks, but wink, wink, Paula Deen. Woo, baby.
Can you just save me, please?
Is that beast grease on your fingers? You're not supposed to get into that. That was from our sponsor. I'm telling.
I love that Gordon. That is so
the
funny.
Next few rooms, I'm sure my wife upstairs is loving the fact that I'm yelling right now. The next few rooms are rigged with red lasers that trigger the gun turrets to fire when tripped. Given the narrow corridors here, Gordon must often make choices between risking his own life by running through the laser beams and hopefully shooting the turrets down with superhuman speed and precision in order to save the lives of scientist bystanders, or Gordon could use grenades and hope these scientists don't end up as collateral casualties.
All the scientists scream, "Not that one!" in unison.
Or there's a third option, which is the one I generally take, and that's to show off how good I am by shooting the turrets down with bullets, saving the scientists, and then immediately unsaving the scientists also with bullets, just for funsies.
Fuck you.
Toward the end of the room, we see once again the G-Man. This time, he strides along a catwalk above. He's slow, not a care in the world. The chaos simply isn't chaos at all to the G-Man. Eventually, like a glorious beacon from the heavens, Gordon happens upon the oft-praised savior that is the military soldier.
Oh, wow. So that's 1, 2, 3. This is a third NPC type.
Simultaneously, a scientist sees the soldier and runs toward him, yelling, "At last! Thank God you're here!" Just before the soldier executes the scientist with his gun, hallelujah, something isn't right here. The soldiers are supposed to be saving us, right? Why are they killing innocent scientists? Maybe it was an accident?
Ha! Well, I will say, I love the scientists, but we are no innocent people. I mean, the same innocent scientist that created the KFC Double Down sandwich. Hey, spare me the virtue signaling.
I bet that scientist was probably the same innocent scientist that roped me into doing this damn podcast. Am I right, Dr. Travis?
Doctor who?
No, Travis.
Doctor who? That's good. That's a good one.
This elevator takes Gordon up to a room that can, for the first time, be thought of as a true first-person shooter map with multiple enemies, all of them military soldiers, and ramps that split the area into multiple levels and boxes to hide behind, and even some background music, which until this moment the player may not have realized the game had so far been without. It's also very clear, as Gordon gets sprayed with bullets, that the earlier scientist's murder was no accident.
And that's called Scientists Decide, in the scientist murder industry, of which I am proudly part of an agency to stop, and you can donate to help stop scientist murder, Scientist Decide, by contributing to the Polykill Patreon, Polykill, patreon.com/Polykill. Your funds will go towards stopping scientist murder, so please keep that in mind. Thank you so much for this platform, Caleb. You may proceed.
You need some better tiers than that Patreon, I'm telling you, man. The military has arrived, but not to save the Black Mesa workforce. Rather, they've arrived to exterminate them, to eliminate all evidence of the Resonance Cascade event.
All right.
The Black Mesa corridors start to take on a distinctly military look and feel from this point forward. In addition to even more auto turrets and laser triggers, wooden crates give way to metal munitions cases and piles of makeshift sandbags ready to be used for the duck and cover tactics that so far Gordon hasn't had to rely upon. These enemy soldiers were gearing up for a big fight. Perhaps Gordon really is more brawn than any of us realize.
Think straight.
After somehow mowing down several dozen armed and trained soldiers without being killed, our humble but apparently very brawny theoretical physicist enters another elevator. This time, upon his exit, he's met not by the enemy gunfire alone, but by the mountainous horizons surrounding the Black Mesa complex. Gordon has made it to the surface.
Yay.
But also, there's enemy gunfire.
Boo.
The bullet onslaught makes his breath of surface air heartbreakingly short. Gordon is forced to retreat back underground and back into the air duct system to survive.
Yikes.
Now, during this traversal of the Black Mesa air duct system, Gordon overhears a couple of soldiers chatting about their actions. They express concerning antagonism toward the scientists, along with surprising titillation at the prospect of hunting them down.
I killed 12 dumbass scientists and not one of them fought back. This sucks.
Now, Travis, as a dumbass scientist, how do you feel about what these soldiers have said about your kind?
Well, we don't fight back. You know, we tell you that the Earth's going to end, and then you're supposed to figure it out and stop throwing your styrofoam into the ocean. So whatever.
I live in Kansas. I'd have to have quite an arm to get my styrofoam cup to the ocean. So I'm blameless.
Sure.
I just like to. What I do is I take a bunch of straws and shove them in turtle mouths down their throats.
They like that though.
Yeah, they like to help them breathe.
Well, it makes like a turtle lollipop, which I heard is kind of fun.
It keeps them from ever like choking on anything because they always have the air hole.
That's what I say. It helps them breathe better. I've always heard that.
Thankfully for the rest of scientist kind, Gordon gets to revenge murder the hell out of those two soldiers using a gun that I assume was developed at least in part with the help of dumbass scientists. Thanks again, dumbass scientists.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Gordon still looking for a safe escape route up, but also always on the lookout for intel that could explain the situation. He happens upon a guy with glasses model of scientist who offers the following helpful exposition in case the player hadn't yet realized what's going on.
Well, so much for the government. Their idea of containment is to kill everyone associated with the project. Judging from your hazard suit, I'd say you were part of what went wrong.
He then directs Gordon to a group of scientists who may be able to help save the day. And they are located, let me check here real quick. At the Lambda complex at the opposite end of the base.
Yeesh.
It seems we're trading our vertical path for a lateral one now. It would have been nice to know this earlier.
Hey, we never said we gave you the information that you needed on time. And, you know, that always happens to me, though. Like, you ever been to, like, a Costco asking where the organic peanut butter is because your wife's a maniac? And, yeah, and because you couldn't find it, you were looking with, you know, maybe it would be beside the regular peanut butter. Maybe it would be, like, peanut butter, crunchy peanut butter, smooth peanut butter, organic peanut butter, all right there with the peanut butter. But they say, oh, the organic peanut butter, that's going to be over there. And they emphatically point the opposite end of the Costco where we put all the organic foods together so we can clearly separate assholes from normal peanut butter eating people. And then I have to go shooting my way over there.
Well, it is Free Pistol Day.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you got to make the samples free yourself.
The scientist provides a route to the Lambda complex. Gordon must travel through the rocket test labs, then to an old decommissioned rail system beyond the silo complex where Gordon may be able to find what's left of the Lambda team. The scientist tells Gordon that he can trust the Lambda team. Just like he could trust the soldiers just a few minutes ago, right, scientist? Ugh. Gordon takes an elevator far down to a track system with a moving platform which promises to be Half-Life's version of a minecart level.
It's a real bastard, too. He has to get it to jump just right so he can collect all of the mysteriously floating bananas down here. But when you stop to think about it, you shouldn't eat a banana you find in a mine, even if it is floating.
Yeah, it's funny. I actually just recently played through Donkey Kong Country again, and it reminded me, you know, I always wondered how those bananas never got rotten. Like, he had this huge stockpile of bananas that was like his safe, and apparently they've been there for a while. So I've never known a banana personally to stay yellow for more than 14 seconds after I bring it home from the grocery store. Yet Donkey Kong and his friends are meant to trust these unnatural perma-yellow things. I don't buy it.
True.
And we're not done with video game tropes yet, because this minecart leads to the next version of Half-Life's sewer level. This time, the sewage is toxic and glows green. That's how you know it's more dangerous and it's further in the game. Immediately following that, we get to our first proper boss. Half-Life is now throwing all of the video gaminess at us now, and I love it.
Oh boy.
So the boss in question is a multi-story tall, multi-tentacled, having worm-like monster that's taken residence in a rocket propulsion test chamber like some kind of alien hermit crab. Now the trick here is to not actually kill the boss.
Oh, so it's probably not really a boss then.
But instead to escape it.
Okay, then maybe it is. I spend 5 days a week trying to escape my boss.
The boss is blind and tracks by sound, so well-placed grenades will distract the monster enough for a proper escape. Gordon certainly hopes he doesn't have to see that thing again. He will. Beyond this boss, Gordon must tightrope across pipes and tread lightly over damaged bridges, all while killing waves of alien invaders in order to activate fuel pumps.
All right.
Why is Gordon doing this? Well, to kill the alien hermit crab, of course, ensuring that we will never have to see that thing again.
Okay, let's go, Gordon. Let's do it.
Once the crab boss, which is actually called a tentacle, once that thing is taken care of, Gordon must push through to the decommissioned rail system described by our scientist friend from earlier. However, another boss-like creature, this time a gargantua, blocks Gordon's way. Thankfully, the gargantua, which is a massive teal-colored bipedal armadillo-like creature, is kept busy by military soldiers who have apparently gone rogue from their strictly human-killing orders and have decided to murder some non-humans.
Oh, thank God.
Now, amid the crossfire chaos, Gordon escapes down a side hall where he must flip a switch to activate a power supply. What will this power supply do? Why, it will create a dangerous arc of uncontrollable electricity that will act as a payload in a handy gargantua trap, of course.
Of course. All right.
With the gargantua dead, Gordon can now celebrate by riding a minecart for a very, very, very long time. This is the most boring part of the game, and it's something, weirdly enough, entire theme parks are built around.
I'm agreeing. I think we've been doing theme parks all wrong. We need to electrify gargantuas. And then get on the minecart. That'll be fun.
Add some floating bananas while we're at it. Why not?
Dude.
A security officer relays a message to Gordon. They must take the minecart too, as the officer says, some kind of satellite delivery rocket.
Scientists. Nice. That guy's not a scientist, is he? Okay, good.
No. Some kind of... He leads with a very general some kind of, and then says something very specific.
Improv.
Some kind of ammonium Q32 nitrate rocket booster.
Very good.
They must take the minecart too, as the officer says, some kind of satellite delivery rocket. After arriving at the rocket, Gordon must then locate a control panel to launch the rocket. Now, according to the officer, the Lambda team of scientists needs the satellite in orbit to have a chance of getting out of this mess.
Okay.
That's right, the phrase, this mess. Those are the words of the security officer whose apparent special forces training has taught him the survival benefits of way underselling the gravity of a hostile alien invasion.
No kidding.
Thanks, future dead guy. Or should I say, future guy who will probably have a pretty so-so encounter with an alien creature or something. I don't know, who cares? I'm going to go take a nap and watch Home Improvement reruns on my Black Mesa issued tablet that's supposed to be used only for emergencies. Travis, do you think you can handle the rest of this?
Dude, this is what happens. You got too involved in the plot line. You think you work at Black Mesa now. You've told me twice you've been visited by the Men in Black when I've told you, and you know full well Tommy Lee Jones has become more reclusive lately. I worry about you, man.
Upon finally reaching the end of the rail system, Gordon ascends a ladder to once again breathe fresh surface air. Two soldiers stand near this door, their backs turned, which allows Gordon to overhear another exchange, which serves to reaffirm that these soldiers aren't motivated by the public service decrees a citizen should expect.
So, who is this guy, Freeman? They say he was at Ground Zero. Science team? You think he was responsible? Sabotage, maybe? Yeah, maybe. All I know for sure is he's been killing my buddies. Oh yeah, he'll pay. He will definitely pay.
And Gordon kills both of these guys.
I love how that guy says, all I know for sure is he's been killing my buddies. There's something like indignant about that. Like somebody on the school bus took his Lunchables. He's like, that was my Lunchable, and you've been killing all my friends. Like, it just doesn't sound like a real reaction to your friends being killed. All I know for sure, he's been killing all the people I know and love.
I also heard it as like, he's mad that they're killing his buddies, but killing other people's buddies is totally cool. They're my buddies. You don't kill
my
mine.
buddy.
Come on.
Kill your own buddies,
There's
asshole.
a whole bunch of other buddies to kill.
Leave my buddies alone. Leave one of your buddies is one of my buddies, and then we'll talk. But I don't know. I have to check your MySpace. Who's in your top 8?
I don't have 8. God damn. You popular man. When Gordon does eventually arrive at the satellite delivery rocket, he must fight his way through hordes of soldiers until eventually arriving at a control room bunker overlooking the primed rocket. He presses a button that's very conveniently labeled launch.
And instead of a rocket, a cold cut sandwich slides out of a small door at the bottom. He's like, shit, hit the launch button. Then he has to go, he's like further down, there's like a bigger button that says launch, and he smacks that, and it's a huge explosion. He's just kind of chewing. Oh, there we go. They should label these better.
The rocket fires. The satellite that promises to cleanse this, quote, messed up situation is presumably on its way into orbit. The Lambda scientists who have desperately wanted this launch are surely wondering how they're going to clean up all of their resulting ejaculate.
Of course. Dr. Bullsquid, that was great. Lots of cum from the boys tonight. But we has a problem.
Hello, Dr. Danglebag. Oh, yes, that was great. I was mostly shooting dust there at the end, but I made up for it with plenty of seed spackle at the start. Sorry, you caught me in the middle of trying out some new names for cum. So what's the problem?
The custodians refuse to clean up all of this cud spunk. They basically are threatening to strike if we push the issue.
Oh, that's a good one, cud spunk. Maybe after you clean up the cud spunk, you could maybe wax off some of that spank paste.
Indeed, I was telling them, and they were complaining. They said, we're up to our ankles here in all this bunk juice that's been kind of filling up the end. And they say their workers' rights permits don't cover if they slip and fall in that. And I tend to agree, but it's a problem.
Oh, I hope you don't slip too hard, because you could shuffle loose our own mortal soil.
That's also a very good one. You seem to be laughing a lot, and I'm enjoying the puns, but we do have a serious problem. They're not going to clean up all of these porridge ropes we've left around. It seems to be it's a hot button. It's quite a hot button issue for these people.
I think there's only one punishment. We should probably shoot them with mushroom bullets.
You're going to jazz them on them with your chode nectar, and that's how you're going to respond to this legitimate issue these folks are having.
Absolutely I am. But what do we do now that the rocket satellite has been launched? Escape, we assume? So Gordon backtracks through the rail system on his trusty minecart. This plan, however, gets derailed when Gordon encounters a new aquatic-based enemy type, the ichthyosaur. A nearby scientist hints that the animal must be taken down with a tranquilizer dart. Once Gordon finds a crossbow, conveniently loaded with tranquilizer ammo, he shoots the beast until is, tranquilized. But assuming the tranquilizer halts muscle activity, as tranquilizers are wont to do, the monster probably just drowns eventually on account of its lungs no longer working. But Gordon isn't sticking around to find out. He must move on if he wishes to locate the Lambda complex and its savior scientists.
The ichthyosaur sounds like a dinosaur that got bullied a lot for smelling bad.
Oh, that's a good idea. Trivia break. Okay. Welcome to Punch That Giant Lizard, the game show about insulting extinct animals. Let's meet our contestant. We've got Travis Terry here. Travis, it says you are from West Virginia and you're bad at geography.
One of those is... No, actually, neither of those is true. Keep going.
You almost fell for it.
I
think you'll do
did.
just fine at this game.
Okay.
So the rules are simple. I say the name of a dinosaur, and you must tell me exactly what you would yell at it just before punching it.
Okay.
Now, as always, all insults must leverage the pun implied by the name. For example, if I say Michael Ceratops, you say, "Get over here, you adorable soft-speaking nerd."
All right.
Are you ready to play?
Yeah.
Your first dinosaur is Brachiosaurus.
Wear a breathe right strip, you idiot.
Oh, good one. I'll give you 7 points for that.
Oh, I like it, yes.
Dinosaur number 2, Velocifaptor.
Not in the library, asshole!
I'll give you 7,000 points for that.
Oh, good.
Really puts into context how excited you were about the 3 or 7 points I said earlier, doesn't it?
It sure does.
The third and final dinosaur, the Einrandosaurus Flex.
Die, witch!
I'll allow it. It doesn't make any sense at all. And thus concludes the first trivia break of Tales of the Lesser Medium.
All right.
I'm assuming all of the crowd is cheering. We're reading through our sponsors. Credits are rolling. But Gordon's luck runs out. As he races toward a health recharging station after a particularly bloody battle, he's knocked unconscious by a group of soldiers. The soldiers chuckle as the screen fades to black.
Oh, man.
Gordon awakes in a trash compactor, used here as a makeshift, almost dead body compactor. Good news, Gordon's luck has returned because he's not dead. He escapes to continue his journey toward the Lambda complex, eventually arriving once again at the surface. But this time, something is very different.
And now he smells bad from being in that trash compactor, and people are calling him Ichthyo Freeman. Let's call back that dinosaur from earlier, if you remember.
Oh, I do.
Good.
So what's different here? So topside now is a complete war zone.
Oh.
The alien army, including Vortigons, alien grunts, and gargantuas, are fighting against the Marines in a battle that appears to be heavily favoring the Zen invaders. Where Gordon was enemy number one just moments ago, he enters this battle as more of an observer. He's kind of an afterthought. The invasion has become a full war.
Oh, no.
The soldiers call in reinforcements. Gordon avoids fighting as much as he can by scaling cliffs and late 90s first-person platforming his way away from the chaos. His mind is still very focused on reaching the Lambda complex. With the fighting having escalated so aggressively, reaching the Lambda scientist truly becomes the only hope for survival. After a long struggle, fighting through an entire alien army, military soldiers who still sometimes want to kill Gordon, despite the proverbial bigger fish to fry, minefields, tanks, and helicopters.
Oh, boy.
That's 3 for 3 seasons of Tales of the Lesser Medium that feature helicopters in games.
All right.
So after all of that, we finally reach the Lambda complex.
Honestly, our podcast has cemented in me that I will never ride in a helicopter for the rest of my life, unless, ironically, my life depends on it, like a med flight chopper or something. Kind of funny how that works. But yeah, I will consciously avoid riding in a helicopter from here forth.
Well, Trav, I'd hate for you to think video games have lied to you. So if I ever saw you gurneyed onto a medical helicopter, I'd shoot it down out of the sky with a rocket launcher, man. I'd do that for you.
I guess I appreciate that.
Yeah, and I can't wait till it happens. One less scientist in this world.
Jesus.
So before moving on with the story, I want to call out a specific image that doesn't really fit with the narrative, but I was just so confused by it, I have to bring it up. So at one point, during a standard shimmy through the Black Mesa air ducts, Gordon happens upon a nest of pulsating alien eggs. Now, the invasion just started, remember? So are these aliens already fucking?
Wow. Yeah. I mean, I kind of just assumed that aliens have been fucking and are always fucking and are fucking even now as we speak. Perhaps they came to Earth to lay their eggs.
Maybe. In that case, those ignorant soldiers from earlier will surely feel justified in killing the eggs, not because of the alien war, but anchor babies.
Let's get Sally Jesse Raphael involved right now. But, if they are fucking in air ducts, why? I mean, are metal tubes a turn on for them, or?
Maybe. Or no. Maybe it's like what some fish do. You know how like the female lay eggs and then the male will come along later and...
Yeah, he has sex with the air duct.
Exactly. Fish stuff,
Fish stuff.
Can you imagine being in that air duct, like just hanging out, and just basically there's something that eclipses the end. The visible light end it just eclipses, and it starts getting hotter and hotter. You're starting to sweat. Something's happening.
Yeah,
I can imagine it. I do often.
Gross.
Upon entering the Lambda complex, Gordon immediately finds a gluon gun, which is essentially a laser cannon and is far more destructive than anything Gordon has had access to so far. The existence of this gun is one of many secrets Gordon learns during his short time at the Lambda facility. Additionally, he learns that this facility is where Black Mesa developed the teleportation technology that allowed scientists to travel to Zen in the first place.
Oh.
He also learns that, unfortunately, his earlier efforts to reverse the effects of the Resonance Cascade scenario by firing the satellite rocket into space didn't work.
Oh, that's what firing the rocket was supposed to do. Cool.
Yeah, I didn't know either. It's not very clear in the game. As it turns out, something on the other side in Zen is preventing the rift from closing. Something that can hopefully be killed by Gordon's new gluon gun, or his rocket launcher, or his grenades, or his pocket full of snarks, which is a real weapon in this game. It's basically just living alien creatures that can be thrown like grenades.
Whoa.
So, yeah, he picked those up somewhere along the way, too.
He'll probably just use his crowbar.
Well, then let's hope this thing holding the rift open is either a wooden crate or is a roof that needs to be reshingled.
Also, they rally round the family with a pocket full of snarks.
I want to be a Rage Against the Machine cover band that does just video game covers. Man,
Yeah, man,
I can
that'd
play
be
that
great.
song on the guitar, so I got one down.
Cool. We could hit pocket full of snarks tonight.
The decision is made that Gordon must venture through the rift into Zen. Gordon's characteristic silence must mean approval of the decision as the scientists move forward with preparation without waiting for so much as a nod from our mute hero. Part of those preparations include a new long jump module, which, as the guy with glasses model of scientists says, was created expressly for navigation in the world beyond.
Oh.
He continues by expressing his hope that Gordon received long jump training.
Nope, he hasn't.
Nope, not at all. And it's a good thing too, because there's nothing us gamers love more than late game surprise mechanics.
That's right.
After a few minutes of long jump training, which seems plenty enough for saving the world, Gordon prepares to long jump right into the portal. However, the open portal allows a few scraggler alien controllers to infiltrate the complex first. Gordon quickly takes care of these floating octopus-like monsters with his new gluon gun before leaping into the portal and transporting to, as the scientist for some reason said, the world beyond.
All right.
Zen is a desolate and serene place compared to the Black Mesa chaos. The world is peppered with floating platforms set against a sky that fades from orange and pinks to blues and greens.
Oh.
And it's beautiful, I suppose, but I kind of feel sorry for the aliens forced to live their lives on floating platforms the size of merry-go-rounds.
Ah, yeah, no wonder they escaped this place, or maybe they just fell off of it.
I can't blame him anymore, wow. Gordon navigates the platforms, helped both by the recently acquired long jump module and well-hidden teleportation platforms, until eventually he arrives on a much larger platform. Here, Gordon fights his first Gonarch, a massive four-legged crab-like creature with what appears to be a body-sized scrotum dangling below its center. Gordon, apparently having experienced sack trauma himself, quickly surmises that this body-sized scrotum must be the Gonarch's weak spot.
Yep.
Shotgun it, gluon gun it, or simply just lightly flick it with your fingernail, and this monster will be immobilized in seconds.
Man, yeah, and it's no coincidence that this monster with the giant nutsack has a name like Gonarch, which just sounds like a giant scrotum with butterfly wings.
And it blends it with its surrounding beautifully.
That's right.
Another teleportation platform later, and Gordon finds himself in the alien grunt cloning facility, where the Zen army is being created. It's a tough fight, as one would expect, through this literal soldier factory, but with persistence, a bit of luck, and a lot of firepower, Gordon succeeds. The final battle awaits him. Next, Gordon must challenge the mysterious thing that's holding the Zen rift open.
My guess is someone left the little hydrological arm thing extended at the top of the rift screen door.
That's a really good guess. But no, the reality is much bigger, much grosser, and only slightly more annoying.
Oh, it's my...
No, it's not your dick.
Oh, I wasn't going to say that.
This big thing is Nihilianth. And Nihilianth is essentially a giant floating fetus.
I was going to say it was oh my a giant fetus. Not my
I don't
dick.
believe you.
No, I wasn't going to say anything but my dong. Again.
But this thing has the non-fetus-like ability to shoot energy projectiles from its mouth as Gordon long jumps around the area. Gordon must destroy crystals along the wall of the area before the monster's head will open to expose its brain. Once the brain has been fully stuffed with bullets, rockets, grenades, and whatever the gluon gun shoots, Nihilith will spaz out before finally exploding into a screen-filling green flash.
Huh. All right.
Now, after this, Gordon pulls one of the scientists aside, and he's,
Hey, Doc! Doc, you got a second, Doc?
Sure, Gordon. Good work, by the way. What's on your mind?
Thanks, yeah. So, what is it that the glue-on gun shoots?
The what gun? Which
The
one?
glue-on gun. I use this one right here, you see it? What comes out of it when I shoot it?
Oh, this is just a simple glue gun. Gordon, where did you find this?
I found it in the room labeled art supplies.
You're stupid.
But Art is the name of the guy who hands out guns.
It isn't. That's Lenny.
No, Lenny's the guy who tells me to be quiet about what he fills the glue on guns with.
Yep, that's the same guy. I've lost my accent. I'm so upset with you.
The Flash, after killing the Sneehelen...
The Flash is here? The Justice League showed up?
So after the screen-filling green flash, it fades away, and suddenly Gordon is standing face-to-face with the G-Man.
Oh.
Both of them on planet Zen. The G-Man speaks. He expresses his thanks for gaining control of Zen before offering Mr. Freeman a job. The G-Man is coy with who his employer is, but by the sound of his melodramatic evil guy voice, it's safe to assume the G-Man is aligned with the Zen forces in some way. Gordon can either accept the offer or reject it. If the player accepts the offer, Gordon gets a "Well done, Mr. Freeman" from the G-Man. If the player rejects the offer, Gordon is transported to a room full of alien grunts and immediately killed. Roll credits.
Wow.
So what are your kind of final thoughts on Half-Life?
Well, the fork in the road at the end, not so much a fork. It's like a fork with one tine extremely shorter than the other. But overall, it's a fun ride, man. I like, I think a lot of these decently donged scientists were shown that they really are, they can be heroic. They are brawny.
If I could mod video games, I would just mod a thwapping sound every time the scientists ran. Oh, gosh, I wish I could. I'd have to find a scientist, though, to record that Foley audio. So I'd have to find some kind of scientist with a decent dong that I could strap a microphone to his thigh.
You'll just have to listen to the Lakers go up and down the court and then just use that audio. Overall, I thought it was really good. It's a pretty interesting and fun ride. I think for me, a lot of that narrative is lost on the gameplay because, sort of like Tomb Raider, it doesn't spend a whole lot of time doing any story stuff. And but the parts that are there are pretty, they have a lot of impact. They're very impactful, and the stakes are always very high. So it's interesting.
Yeah, it is one of those games that if players decide to go back and play it again, it hasn't aged visually that well, and the voice acting is atrociously hilarious. So my voice for Mr. Freeman, my voice for the G-Man, his voice really is yeah, this is me, the G-Man, and I'm gonna talk like this for no reason. So and he luckily he doesn't have very many lines in the game, so
That's disappointing.
it is a little bit disappointing.
All right, everyone. Well, another fun episode. Thank you again, Caleb, for reading that. You did a very good job. I appreciate it, as always. And everyone, that concludes this episode in this series of Half-Life. Please be sure that you're subscribed. If this is the first one you've come across, you're like, oh, I like Half-Life. Let's hear this podcast. Oh, my God, they've ruined the story. They've ruined the story, but I'm here because it was kind of funny. Well, be sure to subscribe because there's more episodes coming. But you can find the next episode where we talk about Half-Life 2 already there. It's already in there. Look what we did. So be sure to check that out.
And if you would be so kind,
Oh, God.
please rate and review us.
Gordon.
Rate and review us on iTunes
Gordon, stop, please.
and any of your other places that allow reviewing of podcast type materials. Also, reach out to us on Twitter, the show handle is at Tails Lesser. My own personal handle is at Caleb J. Ross. And Travis's is at Trav Plays Games. That's at T.
No.
R.
Stop. I like how your own breathing interrupts you because you're so annoying.
I'm very out of shape. I am a typical scientist.
You could also send us an angry email about anything we got wrong or to what Caleb just did there, if that upset you, at polykillpodcast@gmail.com, or you could just send that straight to his Twitter account he just told you about. You could also go to polykill.com. We have tons more podcasts that are almost as good as this one.
They're almost as good as this one.
Yeah, they have Drug Fred out there. Petey's Power Hours out. You can get hammered and listen to that. It's pretty fun. We got Off Kilter.
Off Kilter is another one.
It is another one. That's all I'll say about that one. And Polykill proper, which is all right. And those intro and outro thing, which you can hear right now, you can hear it pulsating and beeping and bumping and making you feel real good. That's by Brad Sucks. We thank
Brad Sucks.
He doesn't, though. That's the weird thing about it. He does not suck. Be sure to check out his work.
Thanks for listening, everyone.
And the tale has been told.